I literally passed away and God saved me. A lot of people will hear this and think, oh yeah, one of those stories. No, I'm serious. I was a witch for 15 years. I had no interest in Jesus or God whatsoever. I died during my labour with my daughter. I had a cesarean and the most horrific thing happened. But what was scarier about this is that I knew it was going to happen before it happened. And I'm just going to freestyle this so you know I'm not capping, okay? So I was pregnant with my daughter. And I was still practicing witchcraft at the time, and not long before that I had my first daughter, so there was quite a small gap in between. Now something told me about this cesarean. My pregnancy was horrific, by the way, really bad, and I knew that during this cesarean I was going to die. Something told me in a dream, something kept sitting on my spirit that I was going to pass away during this cesarean. Now bear in mind I had 2 cesareans before that and I was perfectly fine. So there was no reason for me to really think this. It got to my cesarean and I said to the doctors, this is a true story. I even got compensation out of it because of this, right? They said to me, you're going to be fine. You don't need to panic. And I said, you don't have enough of my blood. I already know you don't have enough of my blood. I'm going to die during this cesarean. The doctor shook her head at me and basically insinuated that I was paranoid and crazy. Fast forward, I go through this cesarean, okay? Now, I don't do God at this point. I'm not really in with God or Jesus or anything like that. And I prayed and I said, there's a God up there. Please save me, because I know that I'm going to die during this. I come round from my cesarean. Within minutes of having my cesarean, I started to hemorrhage. And this hemorrhage wasn't just a small one, it was a full-blown hemorrhage. I was getting my womb taken out with their bare hands while I was awake. My daughter had already been born, she was fine. And I started to die. I felt my soul leave my body. I saw the blue lights going. Everyone was running in. The you know what coming out of me was swamping the bed. It was going off the bed. It was something out of a horror film. I knew I was dying. I was consciously aware of the fact that I was dying. My soul removed itself from my body and I was able to look at what was going on. Anyway, as I was being taken away, something pushed me down and said, believe me now, and pushed me back into my body. I swear, pushed me back into my body. I woke up, came to, my partner was next to me, baby was over there. I had about 7 doctors staring at me. And I said, what? They said, you shouldn't be talking right now. You shouldn't be sitting up. Actually, you shouldn't even be alive. I looked down, my hands and my fingers were white. I had no blood in my lips. They were gone, they were white. I actually have a picture that I'll put on here to show you how bad I was. It was really bad, it's a bad picture, just know that. But this hemorrhage had miraculously stopped. And the doctor who told me that I was crazy about bleeding out, she came and she apologised. She said, I'm sorry we didn't listen to you before. Something really drastic happened after the cesarean, which again isn't very common, it's usually during. After the cesarean, something ruptured and I hemorrhaged. I lost 3.5 litres of blood. We only have 5. She said that I should not have been moving, speaking, functioning, living. I knew that God sent me back. He saved my life. And what was even stranger is when I came around fully, the doctor said to me, I'm not really a believer, but something was in this room that saved you. And I need to figure out what that was. She said, I've done this job for a long time. I'm not a believer, but something saved you. I have never seen somebody come back from that. When I tell you, I was white. I'm Spanish. I was white as a sheet. I had no blood in me. I had to have 8 blood transfusions within 3 hours. I had nothing in my body. I shouldn't be sitting here. One of my testimonies to this day, I knew that during witchcraft, things got really dark, really bad. I knew they were trying to take me out. And something was trying to warn me. And what is even weirder about this is I was big on social media then. A lot of my followers would know this because they watched the video. I did a live saying that I was going to die during the cesarean. And they was all saying, no. And I said, guys, listen. I'm not going to be here after I have this cesarean. Most people remember this. I wish I'd saved the video. But I was that certain because something had told me. Now I know it was God preparing me. And I always think if I had not prayed before that cesarean, asking him to save me, I wouldn't be here. My soul left my body. I was put back into my body. I remember the stares of those doctors. Total disbelief. I remember the state of the bed I was in. There was nothing left in me. That picture of me will show you. I'm not telling lies here. I even got compensation because of how much they kept dismissing me. And they put it down to woman's intuition. That they now have to listen to a woman's intuition if she says she's going to die. Strange, right? But that's one of my testimonies. I nearly lost my life. God saved me. And here I am. I know for a fact that was all God because something was trying to take me out and it nearly succeeded.